Hello there. It's about time I've done a monthly update on the layout in the shed. It's probably been about that since I've done my last video, maybe even a wee bit longer. Not much has happened. I've had such a busy period over the past wee while that I've not managed to get down in the shed much. But I've got wee bits and pieces done, so I'll take you over what they're done now, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks I promised myself I'd get a bit more time down here and get a bit more done. So let's take you in and I'll show you where I'm sitting just now. So up at the engine servicing facility, up this top end's the main end I've been working on. I've been trying to get the fascia looking a wee touch better. So I've filled it in. As you can see further down there, I've filled the sides in and the gap. I've still got to follow that line all the way down. I started to ballast and I've started to add a wee bit of ground covering. So I've got you can see there's a bit of ground, a bit of brown in there, and I'm starting to put a bit of grass in. And then I've started to dirty up the road and stuff a bit. And then this is the main bit I've probably been working on, I would say, over the past wee while. I've added a lot of foliage in, and I've added quite a bit of ground covering round about the track just up to this bend. It's quite a small area, but it's where everything's going to kick off. This corner's just going to be a loading bay for my engine servicing shed there. So there's going to be a van parked in here and maybe a couple of trucks, and I've got loads of pallets and things like that. So there's a wee man in there just backing up a motor. It looks a bit weird just now, but when I get some motor there it shouldn't be too bad. He's just backing them in. And I've just been using the Woodland Scenics products, ground cover, and then the different types of products that you get for like fine leaf foliage, a wee bit of dead, some of the greens and different things like that. And I've put some of the Woodland Scenics rock moulds in. So I've put this rock into this corner here. So this is what's going to come round to my coal mine on this side. But as it stands here, this is just where my scenic break is. So I'm going to fill the rocks out a little bit around this corner as it comes down into here. And then I'm going to fill over in the back there, so the rock face is a bit thicker. And then I'm going to continue the trees like what I've done here at this side, just round the corner there, so it kind of hopefully takes away that sharp edge that I've got there, and maybe softens it a wee bit. That's the hope anyway. So there's only really two colours in here, or maybe two or three. I've put a wee bit of dead foliage in there and quite a bit of green. I'm trying to use the photographic backdrop that I got for ID back scenes as like it's a back scene really, and then I'm just adding some clumps of foliage on to the outside onto the wall. As you can see there, there's just a couple of bits there. So as you come past, it gives it a bit more depth and brings it out a little bit. There's still quite a bit. There's still bits and pieces to be put on top of the roof of this building. Some works, and then right down here I've got to paint up the concreted area, and then there's got to be all the boarding put over the rails in there. The rails are all covered things. So eventually I've ordered some wooden fencing. So when I get the wooden fencing in, there's going to be a fence right along there to this building that I'm going to put just like a low relief end in building here that's going to get painted and coloured up. That's just the original colour that I got from the box when it went in. They're actually the spare parts that come from the modern engine stall that you get. I'll just show you over here. Sorry for zooming you. But this building here, which is actually going to be my rotary dump, it gives you 5 different options at ends to put in it. So I've used 2 of them here, pretty much the similar what you've got there on the opposite side, and then the spare ones I'm going to use over at the far side here is low relief factory buildings. So there's going to be a wooden fence coming up to that just behind the fuel tank in there, and then I'll have these low relief buildings, and then I'll have a bit more fencing coming down. I've also got to extend the concrete area in there, and then this join that I've got between the two scenics where it goes from the trees into a more background industrial there. I'm going to put a decent foliage area in there, lots of trees, lots of bushes, so it should soften that join in my severely bad attempt at a spray to blend the clouds in a bit, which it has done a little bit. So hopefully when I put the trees in there, that joint should be a bit less severe. But I've got to continue that, the concreted area from there, just down the back wall, just to roughly where the join is there. And then that'll allow me to get the foliage along the back in there. The plan is to get it down to, I've got an upright support just here coming around where the back seam pops out a bit. So when you're looking face on, it's not so bad, but you can kind of see it. It wraps round it there. So I'm going to try and soften that with a bit of fencing and put a bit of trees and things in. And then it'll be just the background there, the different farm buildings and the pipeline and things. So it's a wee bit just coming out of the yard at that area. And that's really all I've done. I've got a model railway exhibition coming up a couple of weeks' time at Falkirk, where my exhibition layout's going to. I've had an article just published inside for the NMRA, which is quite cool. So I'm pleased about that. That's it's the second one that I've done. They've asked me to put one in for the shed and how I started it and how I built it and things. So when I get time, I'll start to write that and put that together, and hopefully it might be next year. But I plan over the next wee while, now that everything's calming down a little bit, getting a bit more work done on the layout here. More scenics, get a wee bit more area. So now that I've got that top corner up there kind of done and built, I'm going to then take it right down this line here, because this is just a big yard, so it just really needs dirtied up and stuff left, and then the areas and a couple of buildings spread about here and there, and like small offices for staff, and then I've started to put cars and people and clutter and signals and different things like that. And so one corner to start with, and then I'll kick on and then just take it right down this length for this side. And hopefully at the show I can maybe pick up some other buildings. There's a couple of factory buildings and stuff like that I've picked up that I'm just going to use as low relief. I'm just going to open all four sides out into big long straight walls. So that should go against here quite well, and it'll break up the flatness of it. And then we cleared one of my friends' layouts. He passed away a few years ago, and his wife was wanting the garage back. So I got a few bits and pieces for there, just a few cars, a couple of Jeeps and some step units and stuff that I'll just integrate into the steelworks and have wee bits and that kicking about. So it's not much, but it's something. It's not too bad at all. So hopefully the next time I get a video I'll have quite a bit more done, and then hopefully I should get a wee bit more of the wiring done. I need to get a little bit of the power points in for the control systems, so that I've got two just now, but hopefully then if I get the rest of them in, I can at least maybe just have people around and run some trains, which would be good. So that's update now. I'm really pushing to see if I can get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm at about 165, and it's brilliant. I get good feedback off everybody, and that's brilliant. If you can drop a subscribe, and if there's anything, any recommendations or anything like that you can give me for anything on the layout, please just drop in the comments. I'll try and answer as many as I can. So thanks for listening. Take it easy and all the best. Bye.